I hope that Iran, and I've written them a letter saying, I hope you're going to negotiate, because if we have to go in militarily, it's going to be a terrible thing for them.
We're prepared right now. If they call right now and say, we want to meet, let's talk about this, we're prepared to do that. The president's made that clear from the very beginning. His preference is to deal with this issue diplomatically. But he also told them we had 60 days to make progress or something else was going to happen.
Surprise, surprise. So on breaking news is that now the bully is asking for forgiveness, allegedly. So the United States of America, after bombing Iran, is now asking or begging for Iran not to retaliate. And if you don't believe this, is that they are asking China, America is asking China to talk to Iran so they do not cut off the Strait of Hormuz, which is responsible for about 20% passage of oil and gas products to the world markets. So let's go for this.
We're having direct talks with Iran, and they've started. It'll go on Saturday. We have a very big meeting, and we'll see what can happen. And I think everybody agrees that doing a deal would be preferable to doing the obvious. And the obvious is not something that I want to be involved with, or frankly, that Israel wants to be involved with if they can avoid it. So we're going to see if we can avoid it. But it's getting to be very dangerous territory. I hope that Iran, and I've written them a letter saying, I hope you're going to negotiate, because if we have to go in militarily, it's going to be a terrible thing for them.
You wrote a letter to the Khomeini,
Yes.
the leader? When did you send the letter?
Yesterday.
And you said you better negotiate, or we want you to negotiate?
I didn't say you better. I
Okay.
said, I hope you're going to negotiate, because it's going to be a lot better for Iran. And I think they want to get that letter. The other alternative is we have to do something, because you can't let them have a nuclear weapon.
Hello and what's up, good people? I hope you're doing great and fantastic from wherever you're watching this video from, and welcome back to the channel. Now, onto this issue between the United States of America and Iran. Now, America having officially bombed Iran. I was just observing, everything, and from the news feeds and the media houses, and I just took a different perspective. I just made an observation that most of us and most media houses are not actually giving attention to, and the fact that this is not an American war, and this is a war that Trump and Washington would really love that it would be, the mission would be as over as soon as, as it already is. However, that is not guaranteed, because it now remains to be seen on how Iran is going to retaliate. And of course, they said they were going to retaliate. Now, my observation is Trump is not interested in this war at all, and America is not interested in this war at all. And I'm going to break this down for us.
We will give the same response to United States as we have gave to Israel. We will respond strongly, and we will stop aggression from any side, be it Israel or United States. And we have given message to United States that we will respond very firmly, and we will stop the aggression by anybody, including United States.
Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi condemned the US strikes and said that Iran is reserving all options to defend its sovereignty. In a post on X, Araghchi adds that the events this morning are outrageous and will have everlasting consequences. Each and every member of the UN, he wrote, must be alarmed over this extremely dangerous, lawless and criminal behavior.
Okay, now, first of all, we go back to Trump coming to power, and we all know that Trump came to power on the promise and on the on the narrative of America first and make America great again. And he had promised to stop wars, and also the whole narrative of America first was focusing on ventures and activities and what would really be of American interest. And this war, such kind of wars, and ending such wars, and ending American influence, military influence abroad, simply meant American dollars not leaving the economy just to go and fight wars that are not really, really directly beneficial to the American economy. That is actually what Donald Trump came to power promising. However, he might just go down in history as also another American wartime president. And that's why I'm saying he would wish that this mission becomes, ends as it just has. And that, he would pray and wish that Iran does not retaliate. And you have seen from what he's saying that now, and how the administration in Washington has been saying that they're open to dialogue and negotiations, and they're ready to talk as soon as the following day, and that the attack was on the nuclear sides and not on the country, and that they're ready to talk. And Donald Trump himself has said that Iran need to, kind of like trying to advise, and that's not in his reach, of course, but trying to advise that Iran need to come to the talking table for a peace. Now, that's point number one on how Trump came to power, on the promise of no more war and no more American attention outside in proxy wars and proxy activities that do not benefit America. And number two, in my observation, was the Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel's nagging.
Congratulations, President Trump. Your bold decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States will change history. In Operation Rising Lion, Israel has done truly amazing things. But in tonight's action against Iran's nuclear facilities, America has been truly unsurpassed. It has done what no other country on earth could do. History will record that President Trump acted to deny the world's most dangerous regime the world's most dangerous weapons. His leadership today has created a pivot of history that can help lead the Middle East and beyond to a future of prosperity and peace. President Trump and I often say, peace through strength. First comes strength, then comes peace. And tonight, President Trump and the United States acted with a lot of strength. President Trump, I thank you. The people of Israel thank you. The forces of civilization thank you. God bless America. God bless Israel. And may God bless our unshakable alliance, our unbreakable faith.
Now, when you look at this, is Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, had been nagging at Donald Trump since he came to power on how they really needed his support, how Israel needed his support so much in attacking Iran. And Donald Trump has been holding back for so long, for months, for months, until 10 days ago, when I think Benjamin Netanyahu finally said, okay, we're going to attack with or without the United States of America. And finally, Donald Trump gave in and, assisted, attacked. Because you remember that it was Israel that attacked Iran first before the United States of America jumped, apparently or allegedly, because they are supporting their ally, who is, Israel. Now, so now you have even divisions even in Donald Trump's camp, because you came to power promising us to stop the wars and make America first. Now we are going to war already. But also you have I believe there's a section of those that are saying the pro-Israel faction that will probably be saying we have to stand with Israel, we have to stand with our ally or allies. And now this brings us to Trump's ego and image. And because I believe Trump is not a very, very strategic leader, and he really believes he really values his ego and self-image, and just like one American scholar, Shahid Bolson, once said, he behaves like a TV star, a movie star. He would really want to be seen well in on the screens on the TV. And so Netanyahu had been nagging. It's that's like, telling the bully in their ear, you're going to look like a weak guy. You have to do something. And finally, that is how he dragged him into the war. And I often say it's uh, if you're playing with a pig, the pig will drag you into the mud, because pigs love to play in the mud. But if you accept to be dragged to play in the mud, you're not going to enjoy being in the mud. But finally, the nagging of Netanyahu finally, telling Donald Trump, Iran is just a few months away from the nukes, and it's going to go down in history as you are the president of the United States of America who oversaw Iran, owning the nukes. So much about that. How is it going to look about the image with Donald Trump? And he gave in, and he finally decided, to appease. This was like to appease and satisfy Netanyahu and Israel. He had to attack. But on the other side, you realize that the administration in Washington is not very, very much interested in this war. And that's why they're saying they're ready for conversations with Iran, and that this is not a war with Iran, and it is a war against the nukes. People that are actually so on this side, they have given Netanyahu what he really needed, but on this other side, they are also trying to try and do what they can to contain these whole issues spiraling out of control. And now another point is, now it comes down to the Iranian retaliation, and because they said that they were going to retaliate. We wait to see how they're going to retaliate, in which form that they're going to retaliate. But they promised to retaliate, and they promised that everybody is going to feel it, and already everybody is actually feeling this. Um, they really reserve all the power in terms of deciding on whether to retaliate, and we can just wait and watch and see in what form are they going to retaliate. Now, one of the easiest ways they might retaliate militarily is to hit one of the many American bases around them, close by, in Iraq, in Qatar, I believe, in Saudi Arabia, is it in Bahrain? And that would definitely spiral out of control, because America are bullies, and once you hit a bully, it doesn't matter whether they hit you first, but they will be like, how dare you get the guts to hit me back. And they will hit and hit and hit again and again, and of course that would spiral out of control. Or alternatively, as we have already heard, is that the Iranian parliament has given the go-ahead for for them to choke the Strait of Hormuz, and which is a very vital passage of petroleum and gas for global markets. And you can already see that even before, because they haven't yet, cut the supplies or the movements around the strait, but the markets have already felt the shock. The markets are already trembling to it. Now, the parliament has already given the green light. It remains, I don't know, according to the protocol of power, is it the national security, or I don't know if it is the supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, to give the go ahead, and close and cut off the Strait of Hormuz, which is responsible for, I think they say 20% of all the passages of oil and gas to the world markets. However, what you also want to look into this is this would also be self-destructive for Iran, in that is the same route that they also use. I mean, their economy is also so much tied to the Strait of Hormuz. So if they cut off, they're also cutting off to themselves. So they're going to hit themselves in the process of retaliating, and the whole world, of course, now would be hit economically. And it's not going to be the wisest economical decision, but in times of war, economical decisions are thrown out of the window. And Iran might just decide, because we are going down, we go down with everybody. It doesn't matter, because we will not stay being punched to the ground by America. And for the interest of everybody else, say that we will take all the punches without fighting back. So we'll fight back if everybody else is going to feel the heat, and so be it.
Do you expect Iran to move to close the Strait of Hormuz to try to disrupt oil transportation across the world?
Well, I encourage the Chinese government in Beijing to call them about that, because they heavily depend on the Straits of Hormuz for their oil. If they do that, it'll be another terrible mistake. It's economic suicide for them if they do it. And we retain options to deal with that. But other countries should be looking at that as well. It would hurt other countries' economies a lot worse than ours. It would be, I think, a massive escalation that would merit a response, not just by us, but from others. So, look, they're going to say what they need to say. These are the things that need to happen for their own internal politics and so forth. But in the end, we're going to judge them by the actions that they take moving forward. We had 3 objectives. We struck those 3 objectives with decisive force. And that was the point of this mission. And that's what we achieved. What happens next will depend on what they do. They want to negotiate. We're ready to negotiate. They want to get cute and do things that are dangerous. We have responses available that are devastating.
But clearly, the point is, this for me looks like a war that, a proxy war that Israel, specifically Netanyahu, has really dragged Donald Trump into. And we now just wait to see what is going to happen with the retaliation from Iran. Hopefully, they don't. If that can happen. And so let's continue to observe and see what is going to become of this whole situation. So let me know what you think about my perspective in this. You can leave me a comment right below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked, and you can also go ahead and support this channel. And the easiest and most free way is just to subscribe to this channel. Till next time, see you in my next video. Peace out.